just want to thank everyone for coming this evening to commemorate my father's yahrzeit. My father was zocher to live in Eretz Yisrael 5 months before he was niftar. And before that, he and my mother lived in a huge community in Far Rockaway, New York. My father was the steady Balkori in the shul there, and naturally living in a community for 40 years, was involved in all sorts of activities in the shul and in the community. But on a more personal level, my father was an extremely, some of you here knew my father, was an extremely sociable, funny, great sense of humor, accessible, easy with people kind of person. He was a great listener, and these were all the kinds of qualities that made people love him so much. He was such a great friend, and he was loved by a lot of people in the community, people who would have loved to have been here tonight to commemorate his yahrzeit, but can't be here. And therefore, it's very important that I impress upon all of you how meaningful it is to me and my mother and my siblings that you're all here tonight to honor my father's memory. It's a big honor for us to have Rabbi Rosner here tonight. I mean no disrespect, I'll say shalom. Rabbi Rosner has been a friend of my brother Zalman's for 35 years. His sister Aviva and I grew up together. His sister Miriam grew up with my sister Elaine. So our families go back many, many years. A lot of wonderful memories, a lot of warmth. And it's very special to have him here tonight giving a shiur, Le'ilui Nishmato. Before my parents made Aliyah, as some of you know, my parents used to come for the Chagim to visit. And it seems like yesterday that my father was sitting in my home, my first of many homes that we rented here in Efrat, as many of you know. It was on Netzach Yerushalayim. And my father turned to me and started telling me what was going on with Shalom Rosner, who was now Rabbi Rosner, who was now a Rav in a shul in Woodmere. And with a big smile on my father's face, his face beaming, he said to me, he is loved by the community, and his shiurim, people flock to his shiurim. And I could see my father's smile, and I could see his face beaming as if he was talking about his own child. And this was my father. He had this uncanny ability to be misameach for another human being 100%. Total simcha. It reminds me, the only thing I can think of is when Aharon met Moshe, and the Torah tells us, v'samach b'libo, he had total simcha for Moshe, not an ounce of jealousy. And that was my father. It's such an interesting thing. I often think about this as I go through my day and as I rear my own children. My father had no jealousy. It did not exist for him. And these are some of the qualities that made my father so special as a friend, and Allah kama v'kama as a father. A father who was 100% involved in the lives of his children, who had the ability to listen and make you feel like you were really being heard. Conversations late into the night, 12, 1 o'clock into the morning, whatever the kids needed, he was there. And I just want to end by saying my love for Limud HaTorah, my love for Eretz Yisrael comes from my father. And it's very special for me, because of that, to be able to stand here tonight in Eretz Yisrael, organizing a shiur, Limud Torah, to honor his memory. And Yehi Ratzon, Hashem should grant his neshama in Aliyah, b'zchut halimud haTorah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As Lisa just said, I feel special. Sorry?
I'm now Leah.
Leah. It's Leah. So we're in Eretz Yisrael. Tom, what do you call it? Don't be shy. I can call you Lisa. I feel a special connection also, as Leah said, to the Whitgood family. As was said, 3 of the siblings in my family, we grew up starting on spending time on Nielsen Street, first walking through the neighborhood to get there, and then later on when you moved closer to us. I fondly remember, various times we had this source of my father and I were able to sit right in front of the Witkins in Shul, in the White Shul. Was there every mincha, Shalosh Shudas and Ma'ariv. We sat together, we played together, listening to Rabbi Witkin every laning, seeing him zooming down the street. He never like walked slowly. He was zooming wherever he went. That's memory I have. And lest one think that I only had the schus of being with him for 10 months out of the year, every summer as well.